Why, hello there everyone. Hi. This is the day 1 Facebook Live for the Art by Marlene and the Art by Marlene Creatives Group. I might try and repost this on YouTube. I'm just trying to find myself on my iPad so I can see that everything is in full view. So just 1 second. Let's see where the groups are. And I'm just giving you all a little time to find me and to see if everything is okay and you can see everything really well. Morning, Chloe. Hi, sweetie. Chloe is one of our paper ladies, mother and daughters, that usually goes to the fairs in the Netherlands and promote Art by Marlene there. Let's see if we can see anyone else coming in. I can see a few watching, but just give them all a minute. Hi Veronica, good morning. So it's 11 o'clock in the morning in the Netherlands on a Sunday morning. Weather's okay, it's dry, so for that's great weather. And I've just sent my husband and our little kitten and my son upstairs so that there won't be too much movement and noise downstairs while I'm doing the live. I can see Funke, Ineke, Mary, Jean Smith, hi there. Give me a second so we can just get everyone in the group. Good morning, Bokia. Mary Jean, yeah, you in South Carolina, 5 a.m. Gosh, you are really good. Hi, Tammy. Yes, for you it's evening. It's about 9 hours later for you, or 9.5, I think. Hi, Mandy. Some South Africans joining us. So we all are excited for the Advent calendar lives again, and this period is always just so much fun because we have the time to just create small little projects every single day for a month long. And I know it's also a very busy period in your year, but for me it's just fun in this format. I mean, this was the previous year's format that we used. And it's just fun to create a small tiny project every single day. So what I want to do today is, before we start opening the craft advent calendar, I just want to take you through the different options you have to actually just see what to create. So for one, I'm going to first put the advent calendar to the side. So this is the one, the tag journal, that I've already done the live. If you can't find the videos, go to the group, go to the featured videos or photos. At the top there's a little thing where you can see featured, and then you go there and you will find the advent calendar live, the prep, and that's how I show you to create this little book. The tags that I use for this book is the Art by Marlene tags. It's on 300 GSM white offset paper. There's 21 tags in a pack, so you will need 2 packs, or you have to work front and back. That's also an option. And it's a 10 by 15 centimeter tag in total. If you want to order it online, it's ABMES tag 08. So that is the tags in there. You can also opt to make your little book. This is just the envelopes from the previous year's book. So you can opt to make a book like this. Open the one side at the top, create a sleeve and put your tags in there like a little booklet. That is an option. You can also choose to use one of these little books. This is the latest one, is ABMES Journal 12. And that is just a little book like this where you can create your little pages in there. So you can see here's previous pages that I created in this little book. So you can just see the way that you can create, and I like to add some bunting at the edges. because this is a 10 by 10 centimeter book. Then you also have these ones, which is your all white little journals, the 10 by 10 centimeter, and you also have to decorate the covers then. And this was just one that I showed you all the different sizes of the luxury paper elements in. There's a little book that I created just to show people that. So you can use these as an option. You can decorate them any way you want. So this is like where I create my papers that you all can work with. We scan these in, and that's the way we work on them. Here you can see I prep my pages beforehand, and that way I can just go on from there. So that you can work in. That is an option. This is the previous years, so you can re-watch the previous years making of this little journal, and that is where we actually use the envelopes to create the books with it. And that is just a quick to show you how we created it last year. And we used some of the stamps to create these little embellishments hanging there with the shrink foil on the back. And this year's option, of course, I'm just going to put this to the side, is either creating your tags and then putting them on a little, yeah, what do you call this? I don't even know it. But you put it on a little thing like that, or you create this little book the way we are there. So that is the way we're going to work this year. So first things first, the first thing I want to do is open the Craft Advent Calendar 2024. Oh, I have been waiting to say that for a very long time. You know, we already start finishing this and designing this in January every year. So by the time that it's actually December, I can really not wait for it. So we're going to take this out, and the day one gift is actually the little tin. So this is the little tin that you will receive. So what I like to do, I usually just throw the blister out because I don't really use that anymore. But and now you can just keep your box like that, and you can put all your tag book, because your tag book will actually fit in there too. Can you see that? It'll just fit in there. So that is perfect with the tags because they fit into your little box if you want to put it there. I'm just going to close this off, and I'm going to take this and show you what's in there. So this is the day one. This beautiful tin box is your first surprise. So previous years we had a lot of people actually commenting and saying, I'm missing my day one envelope. There is no day one envelope. The envelopes actually start with day two. So there's no mistake there. So that is just, and here you can see on the side here, you can see actually the inspiration, and it's all made with stencils and products from In Your Little Crafting Makes Everything Better tin. So that is your little tin. Here you can see all the design. This is all hand-drawn designs that I've made. And I made it a bit funky this year. Crafting makes everything better. It's always true. And then when you open your little box, you will find a little message, and you will find all of your envelopes in there. So I'm going to just close this one off for now. You will find your little card, and you will have this one today. So I'm going to put this away and show you what I'm going to do with that. So just before we want to start, I just want to show you what is all the extra things that I will be using during these lives. I see a lot of people saying hi in between. I see Tammy and Funke, and I see Taryn from Beautiful Scrapbooks, and Taryn Snowman, and Chloe, and Micah, and everyone. I can see all of you writing little messages. But I just want to show you what we're going to use as extras during these lives. Of course, it's important to have some of your, just any acrylic marker. I'm, of course, using the Art by Marlene Duo acrylic markers. So that's the ones that I will be using. I sometimes also use a Posca or something like that just to get an even finer point, just for the little highlights on top of it. I sometimes like to use some of my decorative washi tape with the scalloped edges, because it just gives a nice effect to finish little edges on there. Of course, to create the book, I use the Art by Marlene stencil tape, which is a really clear white tape, and it's really got a nice stick to it, and that's the way that I bind my journals. If you want to see that, you can watch the first day video. I usually use a broad flat brush, which is the Art by Marlene number 20 broad flat brush, and that is if I want to do gel medium or gesso on my pages, I use this brush. But I also, now I just can't see where I actually put it. Oh, here it is. I also opt for this one, which is the Art by Marlene, just the normal brush, the silicone brush that I use for that. So that's an option. Something that I can't go without with these projects is the sticky multi-glue. Sticky multi-glue should always be kept upside down, so head down, and that way it will not get stuck. If you put it down flat in between, you might get it to just not come through your edge anymore, but if you keep it upside down, it'll be fine. Something else that's great to use is the sticky quote book, which you can add these little quotes to them. But for the first time ever, there's something very great in this box, so you might not even need that. But if you want more options, it's great to have them to the side. To embellish your pages, you can always use the luxury paper elements, the collector's box. Here you can see you've got many different options in there of these little paper elements, a whole box full, and that is something that you can use as extra. Now this one is already well used, but this is the washi stickers. These are also great to use in combination with your books. I always have to be careful to take it off. You can see it's just nice to decorate anything. For example, if I want to decorate the back of my little journal, I can just add that little washi stick on the back. Even if it's very flush to your page, it's also quite transparent, so you can see something from the back, but it gives enough coverage so it looks interesting on your journal. So that is something that I like to use because it's got nice flowers in, and yeah, this is all empty already and edging and everything. So that is something that I will be using in between. You don't have to have all of these things, but I like to show you what I will be using in between. So the collage papers are also something that you can always add to your pages, because you can add a little piece of collage paper, you can then stick down paper. Here you can see this is the ones that I've been using. This is the paper pad that I used my cover or for my journal for, and you can see lots of stripes in there too, and that is from this paper pad, which is ABM ES DPP 211. And of course, something that I can't go without is the Golden Oldie collector's book, and all of these little elements you can use in there. Once again, you do not need any of this. There's no need for anything, but I just like to show people how I incorporate all the other products into my days that I have. So this is, of course, I want to add this somewhere in my little journal, so I think I want to put this in there. Crafting is escape from the everyday reality, so dream away with the 2024 ABM Craft Advent Calendar. So I want to add that to my first page, so you can see I already created a front page for my little journal, and I just used my mylar sheet from one of my stamp sheets and just cut it to size and just bounded it with the ribbon up there. And this is from one of the advent calendar envelopes, already cut that out. This is the washi tape, and I'm just going to add this to my page there. So that is the first thing I want to add in there. And then of course we're going to go over, and this is the day one. So for the day one, let's see what we're going to do there. I'm going to grab a little scissor. My first got scissors has actually got a piece of tape stuck to it. Not that very handy. Now it's stuck to my thumb. Okay, let's grab this out there. So I'm going to just use this. And I'm going to actually cut around this. And I'm just going to, every single day, I think what I will do is I will, on every envelope there's written day one or day two, so I'm going to try and incorporate that in my pages. And this one is the day one, which is of course the tin. I don't even know if I've got enough pages for it. Otherwise I'll just have to wangle and add another page in somewhere. That's just the way I do it. Of course you need it, I see. Oh, I just read your comment, Taryn. I used the numbers of last year's calendar for your tag book this year. Oh, great, yeah. But I couldn't do that because I actually created the envelopes, of course, last year with my advent calendar. So I'm going to put that day one something down here, maybe. I think down there. So let's put that on there. So usually with any glue, what you need to do is you need some pressure for it to adhere. So I usually either you can go and sit on your project while you're busy doing the next project. But you can also just press on it, or I just turn it on the back, or I put a piece of paper on top of it and then rub. I don't rub on it directly. I would put something over it and then rub on top of it to make sure it adheres well. So now we've got our day one. So let's see, day 1, 2, do we have enough pages? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I will need another one. So I'll probably just add a tag in here somewhere. But I'll do that at a later stage. I'm not going to worry about it too much now, because I'm going to create a day 1 page. And what I'm going to do with the day 1 page is I'm just going to take the colors that I have in there. So I'm just going to put my little palette down there. I'm going to take a bit of pink, which is there, and I'm going to take a bit of red, which is there, and of course I'm using the Art by MARLENE acrylic paints. This is a bit too green envy, so I'm going to mix envy with a bit of the, let me see, with the azure. So that'll probably give you the right color. Then let's see, I'm going to take the yellow, which is happy, and the softer green. Let's see, I'm going to use this one or this one. Actually, this is more kermit. It's more the, it's not the yellow, but more the kermit that I need. And I will use breeze with it. So I've got a few colors in there, and then I'm just going to grab and use my paintbrush. So I will need a finer paintbrush. So this is just one that I received. There's a sample for my finer paintbrushes coming out next year. So this is just a sample. It's not actually something that we've got in there yet. So I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to just start painting. So let's do a few stripes. And then clean off the brush, just dry it off, and then maybe and then clean it off again. So let's add a bit of that pink in there. Once again, add a bit of it at the bottom, and of course I like to add a bit of it on the opposite side. Then of course you've got the hearts upside down on this side, so I will probably add something like hearts right up on this side. You need that brush ASAP. I know, we need them in the range. So we've been busy with it for quite some time. But it's just to get the right brushes and the right length hair and everything for the right price. And if I can't do that, the girls know I usually then wait for a product until we can get the right one. So now I'm going to use a bit of a broader brush. I'm just going to look for one. I'm just going to use the number 12. And I'm going to take that yellow and just mix it through my you can see that I just added to my pages. And if you spread your paint out a bit, don't worry about it. I always say, and it's something I say in every single workshop I ever teach and every live I do, is if it's not pretty, it's just not finished yet. And I think I always say it because there's nothing more daunting than not getting the result you want and thinking, oh, I can't do it. Then that is just, this page is actually not prepped, Patty. I didn't prep this one. So this is just pure paint on top of the tag. So if you want even better result, you can gesso your pages. I do gesso quite a few of my other pages with stenciling techniques, because especially when you do negative painting techniques, you can just damage your paper if you don't have underground there. So that is something that I always say is just when you do negative stenciling techniques, that is where you put your paint down, then you stencil on top and then rub your paint away. Then actually a lot of times what happens is you damage your paper. So I like to then prep my pages a bit more. I've got the hiccups. So you can see just little mark makings that you put on your page. And it's just like prepping your page and just getting it ready for the next layers. I kind of pull the paint and just pull it down so it's not too sterile. So you kind of just, I don't know what you call, you muck it up a bit. I think that's the word. So I'm going to take it just closer to camera so you can see. I just kind of blend it a bit more so it's not that harsh lines all of the time everywhere. So just kind of pull that back a bit. And then I want to, I don't know what I did with that little paintbrush now. That's the thing that I constantly do. I hide everything from myself. I'm actually quite good at it. I just had that, oh here it is. I thought I just had that paintbrush in my hand. And okay, so I'm going to just darken that green a bit more. So you can see that it's a bit more the color of the green that was in there. And that way what I do is just pull the one page over to the other page a bit more. And I will just make sure I use a bit of paint on the other page too. And then I will so that way you can just move the paint around on both pages so it becomes a more of a unit of the two pages. So let's add that. Maybe then incorporate the breeze a bit more. Maybe clean your paintbrush in between a bit so you've got more pure breeze on there. And there too. And you can see I kind of scrub my page with my paintbrush. You feel sorry to cut the numbers. You don't have to. You don't have to cut the numbers, Patty, off the pages if you don't want to. You can leave them as is. I mean, it's just depending. I know that Finger from the Paper Ladies told me she's doing it. She used the envelopes and she made little pockets from the envelopes where she can just fit her tags into. That is fine by me too. You can do any project you want. The thing is, I just did the tags because we did the envelope way the previous year. I like to do something different every year, and also I like people to join in and to watch the live so everyone can start knowing one another in our community. So I will this year try, I don't know if it's going to work every single time, but try and repost everything on YouTube, because it seems that there is a lot more people this year that's not on Facebook anymore and actually prefer it on YouTube. But I will see how it goes, and if it's possible for me to do it. I can't promise anything, so I will do the Facebook lives here, and when possible I will repost them on YouTube. So here you are. You can see you've got this double page that's already almost finished. I'm just gonna plug in my heat tool. Oops, over here. Just dry these pages a bit. So if you work in the tag pages, you can dry it, but when you're working in a journal like this one, please do not use a heat tool, because this has got a glue binding at the back. This is a glue binding. You will actually melt the glue and your pages will let loose. So just be careful with that. Whenever you've got a glue binding, just don't go overboard with things like that. So something that I'm going to use now, you can use any stamp you have in your house. I'm going to use the Art by Marlene Exclusive Textures, which is my most sold stamp. So I'm going to use it because most of you will probably have it then. ABMES stamp 47. You can always order this one. And I'm just going to add some color to my pages. So let's see, I'm going to grab the Stays On, which is really great on acrylic paint, which is your fuchsia pink. And I'm going to grab this one. Just add a bit of, you know what it is, now I'm creating what you call contrast in your pages. So you've got your contrast in color, because you've got your darker colors and you've got your white, your lighter colors, and you've got bold shapes now, but you also want small tiny shapes, because that gives interest and contrast to your pages. So that is really just what I'm trying to do now. I'm going to put that one back in there. Just grab a little baby wipe. What I also do is sometimes just use a cloth, a wet cloth, to rub away the paint, just like an old kitchen towel. But for the lives I usually use baby wipes, but you can't do that on a daily basis. Please, ladies, you can't use baby wipes every day, because you will totally ruin everything. It is just too much for you to throw away baby wipes on a daily basis for our projects. Let's grab a this is just actually this is, I'm just going to show you my background matte. Sorry, I'm just going to grab this. This is just, if I'm not using directly on my background, this is a large piece of cardboard. Then I've just created a background that I've painted, and on the other side is my white craft sheet, and I've used duct tape to fasten it to this piece of cardboard. So when I want to go on a live or somewhere else, I take this with me. And I actually, in next year in April, the white craft sheets will be available in my collection. We have beautiful ones coming out, nice quality, and they will be available from April. So I'm going to just use black, these little crosses. Let's put that at the top there. Move this one down a little bit, so you don't want the same shape every single time. So that's why I'm just moving this one down a bit into my page, and I will add a little bit of it in the corner over here. So I think that's about all you really need. You don't need much more than that. And with these stamps, I kind of like to use them with use them in my hand. But please remember, if you use them in your hands, the moisture and the oils in your hands will actually damage the back of your stamps, which means that after a while it won't stick to your backing again. So the only thing you can then do is just wash them off, or just use them always on a little acrylic block, but I don't do that all of the time. So if you want this as ABMES stamp 47, it's the best stamp set you can have for just all over textures. So we've got that so far, and I thought I might be using this as a whole piece, but I think what I will do is I'll just cut out little hearts. Oh, this is such an awkward little heart. Okay, I can add a few hearts. Oops. Can you see? So I can just add another one. Then, so that way I'm incorporating everything from the day one with some paint, and I'm just kind of jazzing it up a bit. So what I want to do is just use my stamping ink, and I don't exactly know how I'm going to get it. Oh. That's great. Oops. I'm doing the grungy way. I'm going to grunge this one up a bit as well, otherwise you can't just have one grungy heart. There we are. That's better. That's the thing. If you're going to go for grungy, you have to do grungy, because otherwise it'll just look like you made a mistake. So if you make a mistake, go all the way, and then it becomes a thing again. Yeah, my acrylic paints work well, but because this envelope is very shiny, it's going to take ages to dry. And oops. My glue dries transparent and clear, and matte. Transparent, clear, that's the same thing, and matte, that's what I wanted to say. So you've got your little heart added to there, and that gives you a great feature already. So I think that is it for my little page. That gives you enough interest. You can always add a bit of white, or you can add a bit of pink under there and just rub it down a bit so you get a bit of shading. So it just gives you a bit of shading below there. So it's just a little project just to show you how to play along with me. If you want to, you can always add something like these tapes. If you still have them in your stash, you can add something like that in there. Not necessary, but it is an added interest that you can put to your page. So this one is not stuck down already. Yeah, that's fine. So that's it. That's the day one. I'll see you tomorrow. So tomorrow I actually have to take my son for his theoretical driving license test. So I will only be on here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is Amsterdam time. So if you've got an iPhone, you can go to your clock settings, go to world clock, and just see what your time difference is from Amsterdam from here. But I will be on here at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and that is CET time, Central European time, which is Amsterdam, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the people from the States can join too, because then they might be awake already. So together, is it possible to make tags first and then put them together in a book? Well, when you do that, you will then actually have to stick a part over your tag every single time. So I would recommend that you then make a tag book like this one, or you put or you actually use a binding where you stick a tag on a little piece and then put a tag on the back too. So there is many ways to create it, but I do prefer this. What I will suggest, and that I said in my video beforehand, is that I create my little book like this, and I've cut out pages to put on this side, and only after I've done all of that did I put the backing on. Because if you don't put all the papers in first and you then put your backing on, it will not fit. So just be careful. And just for the show, I have put some ribbon at the top of my pages already, just to show you all the way that it looks with the ribbon on. But you can see I only did it with a couple of pages, because if you add the ribbon for the whole book already, you will not be able to work in your book. So then I like to prep my book beforehand. Then I like to do this where you actually use your paper as a prompt to add your page to it, and you can blend it all together and create your pages to fit one another. So if something goes really wrong, no, there's always gesso. Don't worry. And if it's not pretty, it's not finished yet, so you just go further. So don't worry about it. Thank you for joining me, and till the next time, bye bye guys.